It's been over a year since Qatar Airways reported major fuselage issues affecting a significant portion of their Airbus A350 fleet. The airline has since been involved in a hefty dispute with Airbus regarding these issues, with both companies facing off in a $2 billion court case that will continue throughout this year. The purpose of this video is not solely to provide updates regarding the conflict, but also to discuss some new developments related to the A350 design that sort of ties in perfectly. Just as a quick disclaimer, I'm making this video solely for the purpose of news reporting from an amateur aviation enthusiast perspective. Needless to say, I'm not an expert, and the information discussed in this video was obtained from other sources, which I will be crediting in this video as well as the description. So without any further delay, I hope you'll enjoy, and let's get started. To provide some context, Qatar Airways have grounded 30 of their 54 A350s, which includes 7 A350-1000s and 23 A350-900s. This massive grounding was prompted after the airline found evidence of accelerated surface degradation across various planes. More specifically, the fuselage surface underneath the paint had been eroding quite rapidly, and this in turn caused the paint to become blistered and cracked. According to Qatar Airways, these defects are nothing minor. The airline reported issues like damages to the lightning protection system, exposure of the composite structure to moisture and UV light, composite structure cracking, and rivet damage on the fuselage of certain planes. Airbus acknowledged the presence of quote-unquote quality issues, but maintained that said issues did not pose any risk to safety, something that Qatar Airways vehemently denied. The rising conflict between the two aviation giants ultimately led to Airbus canceling a $6 billion order for 50 Airbus A321neos for Qatar Airways. Just a few months ago, the manufacturer went even further and canceled all of the airline's remaining A350 orders. So now moving into more recent news. Just a few days ago from the making of this video, Airbus recently introduced some new design changes coming to newer A350 aircraft. This design change relates to the aircraft's lightning protection layer on the fuselage. Previously, A350s were built with something called ECF, or expanded copper foil, but now Airbus is looking to implement something called PCF, or perforated copper foil, to comprise the lightning protection layer on newer A350s. The expanded copper foil layer, according to Airbus, was part of the reason behind the surface degradation. Airbus denies that this design change has any relation to the fuselage surface issues affecting Qatar Airways, but of course Qatar Airways argues that Airbus is making this change to prevent any future cases of A350 fuselage surface degradation. Let's quickly talk about what the A350 design change entails specifically. Like I briefly mentioned earlier, Airbus is introducing a perforated copper foil layer, or PCF, on future A350s to replace the current expanded copper foil, or ECF, layer. They will also be making some slight changes to window frames and fasteners. If my understanding is correct, these copper layers are what comprise the A350's lightning protection system that, as the name suggests, mitigates the impact of lightning strikes on the aircraft fuselage. As reported by David Kaminsky-Morrow from FlightGlobal.com, the new PCF layer will be thinner and thus a lighter material to use for future A350s. The PCF layer will be able to better avoid issues like thermal stress. Thermal stress, to put it simply, involves any fracturing or plastic deformation caused by an increase in temperature. Now, when I put it this way, that sounds very familiar to the issues affecting the Qatar Airways A350s, especially considering the hot and dry climate in that region of the world. But despite the airline's claim of the new design changes being in response to the issues affecting their planes, Airbus denies any correlation. The manufacturer maintains that they filed a European patent for using PCF back in 2019, well before any A350 issues got reported at Qatar Airways. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you think the new design changes are in response to the issues affecting Qatar Airways? And furthermore, what do you think Qatar Airways will do if they can't find a resolution to their affected A350s? Now, yes, I know the airline has leased a bunch of planes and brought older aircraft back into service, but long-term speaking, if they can't find a way to resolve the fuselage issues affecting 30 of their A350s, what do you think is going to happen with those planes? That's some serious food for thought there, but honestly that's what I'm really wondering, so please leave your ideas below. The information I gave in this video was solely based on my understanding of the subject matter. If I misspoke or gave any wrong facts, please do forgive me and provide some corrections in the comments below. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please leave a like to show your support, comment with any feedback, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon.